So guys, Geforce Now has managed to do something that we haven't seen in cloud gaming today. Being the first major service to have 120 FPS is an absolute game changer, and in theory it sounds really good. But how does it look in practice, and is even getting that 3080 tier even worth it? Well, in this video I pretty much decided I'm going to go on a self-discovery tour, and I tried this thing on mobile, Chromebook, Nvidia Shield TV Pro, and PC. And guys, the results might surprise you. With that, guys, you're going to want to make sure you're subscribed to this channel for future news and content like this that you're going to see in this video. With that, let's check it out. So if you guys don't know, the newest 3080 tier comes in at 1440p at 120 FPS for PC and Mac. Even mobile gets that 120 goodness if the device has the display. The Nvidia Shield TV gets 4K support due to the fact that the codec's able to handle it on the device, and this new tier boasts that it's 3 times faster than an Xbox Series X. And when you look around at PC parts and all the shortages, you start to look at this and go, man, is this thing too good to be true? My own PC has a 5900 AMD Ryzen 9, only has a 2060 Super, so a 3080 for me is a huge upgrade, even in the cloud. So I went out and I tested this first on the Geforce Now app on my PC, and I immediately had to try competitive free-to-play shooters, which Geforce Now has an abundance of. And boy, this did not disappoint. Literally from the second I started, within 10 seconds, I could not believe how responsive this was. There was literally no input lag, and when I say virtually, I mean none. I couldn't feel a thing. I was running at 1440p with the highest refresh rate I could muster. I jumped into some Fortnite. This was a bit more interesting. At times I would have hiccups, but I did raise the settings before I started as high as I could, and out of all the things that I tested thoroughly, Fortnite was the only one that gave me a little bit of trouble. But once I turned down a few things because I really got ambitious before I started, it really started to work well, and it was running buttery smooth with the FPS mostly at above 100. I jumped into some New World. I got a little more information on this one, specifically with the FPS, and this thing was just rocking it above 120. The game looks gorgeous at 1440p, and again, I felt nothing but smooth gameplay, and you're gonna tell that's the theme of this video. One thing though that Geforce Now is boasting is the fact that now even mobile devices can run more than 60 FPS. Heck, if your display has it, you can do 120. And I happen to have the one device that was for sure supported in the Samsung S21. I tried my hand at Cyberpunk, and obviously, man, the game looks gorgeous with RTX turned on, but you guys know Cyberpunk's a tough game to run even with the absolute best hardware. And while I wasn't getting 120 FPS in the city, I was still well above 60 FPS, and it really never dropped below that. As for my performance with the input, again, my jaw just dropped. It was just super smooth. I jumped in with a Chromebook, and I have a Pixelbook. This was running on Wi-Fi as well as mobile, and while my device doesn't have over 60 Hz, I still wanted to test the viability of the 3080 tier with a Bluetooth controller. It did not disappoint with me playing some Watch Dogs Legion. Of course, RTX turned on. Finally, my last device that I really wanted to put through the paces was the Nvidia Shield TV Pro. Again, this did not disappoint. I didn't get a chance to test the 4K, but I did have the AI enhanced. My FPS was running really high. I tried some Death Stranding and used a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse, and it ran great. Tried some more Apex Legends on this, and while the only thing that sucked was really my actual skill, this was definitely a viable way to compete and play, and I think this is something that I took the most out of my experience with the 3080 tier. Now, I've been cloud gaming for pretty much 2 years now, over 2 years now, and I've tested every single major service, and this new tier, guys, is absolutely insane. It's an absolute game changer, and if you guys have been on the fence, I absolutely recommend it. And I honestly feel that if you take your gaming as serious as I do, you really can't go wrong. Now, there's some other factors to think about. If you happen to live somewhat away from a data center, this could change your performance. I happen to live almost next door to one. This gets also pretty pricey at 6 months for $99.99. But when you compare PC part prices, this is a bargain because you're getting a 3080 with a great processor, which, by the way, I want to say all my games loaded super quick. I got into a Fortnite Fortnite game within literally like 10 to 15 seconds of loading it right from the start. So the loading times have improved drastically. The only thing that remains is the Geforce Now UI. I always had to log in with Apex and I had to type in like a phone thing. Finding games can still be somewhat hard within the UI. And ultimately, guys, is the 3080 tier worth it? And I say absolutely. I could not recommend this more, especially if you're into competitive gaming whatsoever, or if you just want the absolute smoothest performance. I mean, I think Geforce Now with this new tier has vaulted itself towards the absolute top for all the cloud gaming service. I'm not ready to say it's the absolute #1 until I do some more testing, but it's absolutely up there, and I do recommend this. Again, I'm going to have a link down below if you guys are interested to sign up for this, and I want you guys to tell me what you guys think of this new 3080 tier. Is this something that you're going to get into yourself, and do you think that this is now worth it, especially for the price? I do think it is, but hey, we all have our opinions on that, I'm sure. As always, guys, subscribe and thumbs up, and as always, I'll see you guys in the clouds.